Hey. It's a girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we are one sister to another with a show with information, inspiration, and godly revelation. And we're heard live right here on, of course, One Sister to Another podcast. Listen, we are in here today. I'm telling y'all, not only are we every woman, but we are all women today in this place today. Okay. I don't know why they particularly, and y'all know this show is unorthodox. I don't know why they particularly just say it is National Women's Month. I don't believe in that. I believe it's National Women's Forever. Okay. And I believe that my guests are going to share that with you as well. Of course, it's your girl, Pastor Angela Johnson. Of course, we are One Sister to Another podcast. We are on every doggone stream, y'all. We are on every social media platform. So I need you to go tell a neighbor, go tell a friend, go tell somebody, to tell somebody, tell somebody. We are on the air right now. Listen, I've got an amazing team out here with me today. And I'm praying that they stick to me, right? Of course, I'm getting ready to introduce this one. So she's my executive producer of One Sister to Another, and I've always thought about her in this wise. And so finally, she says, probably, I think she's been thinking about it for over a year or so, that she was going to take on this particular burden of One Sister to Another. But she is my executive producer of One Sister to Another, and she's transitioning into my co-host of One Sister to Another. Will you all help me welcome none other than Tamara Woodard. Yeah.
Hello, everybody. I love you, Pastor Angela. I don't want to be your co-host, but I love you.
She is so serious right now, but I want y'all to say the devil is a whole lot. He a whole lot. Look, check this out. So then, of course, I've got none other than her daughter, which is I call her my goddaughter. Look, she's my god granddaughter. That's what she is.
Correct.
Of course, she is, and that's right. Make it plain so they can hear. Of course, she is Trayla Law. Trayla. Of course, and of course, she's here today. She's my creative for One Sister to Another. So she's heavy. She's a heavy hitter. Trayla, the educator.
I like that. Trayla, the educator.
Yeah, and she cool. She really is. And so last but not least, let me tell y'all who she is. Can I explain real quick? She is the silent. Y'all know how you have, I call it, when I start shooting, I shot first a gun that's called the Shadow. I call Maite the secret weapon, the secret sauce to One Sister to Another. And Maite, I love your hair. Every week I love this hair. Hey, Maite, she's a notary. She's a realtor. I call her the doctor of doctors. She ought to be the doctor to the doctor. Hey, Maite.
Hi, how are you?
I am doing wonderful. And of course, as y'all can see, I'm still on location. Okay. I'm coming from a funeral, so of course we give a shout out to the Baker family right now. Of course, I think as women, I think this is gonna, of course, give segue to what we're talking about today. And of course, we're talking about women. We're talking about balance. We're talking about, of course, real talk women. We're talking about real, and I'm unorthodox about it today, right? Real talk balance, real talk women, real talk. We've got to be resilient. We've got to be the women who have faith. We've got to be the women who stand tall in our own. But I also believe it's very important, and y'all can chime in as well. I think it's very important about the way we are raised, the way we're taught, the way we're brought up. Particularly you, Tamara, and then we're going to go around the room today. Tamara, I actually know you through your aunts and your uncles because our church, Greater Bethlehem Fellowship, with, of course, girl, don't let me forget the name of the church. Shout it out.
Greater Rock.
Greater Rock. Come on here. Greater Rock. I used to call it the James Girls Church. Anyway. So I know you through that particular entity. I want you to share with us just a little bit as we kick this show off. How important is it for us to be raised correctly and even have good sound foundation through our churches, our neighborhoods, our schools, all of it? And then Trayla, of course, Maite, you and Trayla will go ahead and share as well. Go ahead.
I love that question. That is probably a very profound question for me, because at the end of the day, foundation is everything. I tell people all the time, my foundation comes from Greater Rock Missionary Baptist Church, my pastor, Pastor James, and my family, my mother. When you have a solid foundation and a strong foundation, no matter how far you get away from what you've been taught, what you've learned, there's something that pulls you back. I will say for me, after I got a divorce from my first husband, I kind of veered away from the church. But when it's been embedded in you, when you've been taught the word of God, when your foundation is solid, you make your way back. That's why the Bible says, train up a child in the way that he should go. And when he is old, he will not depart. So a solid foundation for me is core. It's key. I have my daughter here. She will tell you, my family, we are 5 generations on my mother's side at Greater Rock, and I wouldn't have it any other way. The things that I've been taught through church, the things that I've learned from my mom, the things that have just been instilled in me. You know, my mother would always say this to me, Tamara, always be a lady. Don't ever let me hear anything about you from the streets, so to speak. So I always carry that with me. You know, I party, I have a good time. I'm not so sanctified, I'm not so holy that I don't get out and have fun and enjoy myself, but I always know that there is a thin line between having a good time and, you know, doing things that will get back, that will, you know, be an embarrassment to myself,
Wow.
to my daughter, to my family, period. And so with that being said, foundation is everything to me. First from the church, from my mom, from my family in general. And then from other people that I know, from you, Miss Angela, from people like Elisa Epting, or, you know, my aunts, just from
Give
so
the
many
shout outs.
people
Yeah.
that I look up to, that I admire, that have taught me, you know, how to walk, how to be a woman, how to be a lady. So with that being said, I'm gonna pass it to you, Miss Trayla.
Yes, ma'am. I agree with everything. One, I was thinking about this while you were talking. There is a thin line between classy and trashy.
Oh, come on here.
That's my child.
Yes, you taught me that. You taught me that. And like when I was young, of course, I didn't really understand any of that. It wasn't until I had kids, and especially having a daughter, I really understood everything that my mom was putting into me, my mom and my grandma and my aunties, my cousins, you know, everything that they were telling me, you know, always, you know, talk proper, and, you know, dress appropriately, you know, not too flashy, not too seen, you know, but for your body type and appropriate, so that your daughter and the people that are looking up to you can see that. And a lot of that I did learn from church too. Like, you know, my mom was saying, in the beginning, I wasn't going to church every Sunday. I wasn't involved, but now I found my way back. My kids are in the church. You know, my son just said a prayer in front of everybody. I mean, like, and I'm so shocked because it's happening so fast, but I understand what they're saying by train up a child in the way, you know, they're supposed to be, and they will never depart. They will not. And it's happened to me. It's very important. Very important.
I
Very.
love it. I love it. Go ahead, Maite.
Okay. Well, I mean, I echo what they're saying. Foundation is extremely important. Shout out to my mom, Katie
There you go.
Jones. She's celebrating her 82nd birthday
Happy
today.
birthday, mama.
And so, yeah, she taught me some things I didn't want to learn at first because, I mean, my mom was 36 when she had me. So I just thought that she was too old to know what was going on, you know, and, you know, with me, I did because she was so much older than the mother of my peers. So
Yeah.
I just thought that she like was, you know, kind of outdated. And there are things that she said to me coming up that, I mean, when I needed it, I'm telling you, it came right back to me. It's like I would just hear her voice so clearly in my ear, like, yeah, you know, my mom told me that. And so there are things that I have passed along to my children. You know, I raised my children in church. I'm a grandma now, and it's important to me.
You look so young.
You know, thank you. It's important to me for my granddaughter to be raised in the church, you know, as well. And so I do my best to be an example, a good example, because everything and everybody is an example. The question is what kind of example. But I do my best to be a good example, you know, for not only my children, but, you know, for my peers, for my, you know, younger family members, so that they can know, you know, the importance of foundation. I try to like set a good example.
That is so I think y'all, the more we sit here in this space, the more we're going to know as a full team that it really is very, very it's a necessity. It should be our priority. I want to read one of these comments. Lawrence Turner says, I have 4 daughters who grew up in the church. However, a balance is necessary. So I say become streetwise as well. And so we all will agree about that. I want to throw something at you all real quick, because as our creative, and I think it's so important that as women who are going to leave their mark on the world, I think we've got to make sure that we are, as you said, Maite, and of course, as you said as well, Tamara, we got to set example. And not that Trayla is so young, because y'all, Trayla got kids now. We grandmamas all over the place. But I think it's so important. But I want y'all to tell me something. As Trayla was creating the post this week, I thought of something that I wanted to do that we didn't. So I'm going to do it in a row. I want each one of you all, and I'm going to start to tell us what I want you, number one, to give some shout outs to some women in your life who's inspired you, who you glean from. But then I also want to know a historian, a woman in history who may not be here with us anymore. Who would you say the world would say, man, you mirror her? So I'm gonna give shout outs to my own mom, to of course, I gotta get some shouts out to y'all today. And the fact that I glean from each and every one of y'all, especially this doggone spunky co-host of mine who don't want to co-host, but she is. Oh my God. When I tell y'all, I call her the butcher knife. She'll cut somebody. Okay, and then she'll cut that ear off and put it back on. But I love her because she knows her stuff, right?
And pray about it when it's done.
Shouts out, did I say to my mom and to some other women who has kind of been there for me, Miss McCullough, who used to say, I can't do everything, but I can do something that I can do, I will do. Of course, Prophetess Rosemary Abercrombie, some of them. Check this out. But then the woman I believe that they could stand me next to right about now would be Harriet Tubman, because I'm always looking to get some folk delivered who don't even know they bound. Go ahead, Miss Tamara. You take the mic now.
Okay, of course, always to my mother, Tammy Accarelli. I love her with all my heart. And so speaking of her, you guys, let's go ahead and congratulate her. April 10th. She's probably going to kill me right now. April 10th. After 43 years of working at Blue Cross and Blue Shield, my mother is finally getting ready to retire.
Yes.
Shout out to my mom. For being a single mom, for raising me and my brother, for just being an all-out, outstanding woman, a woman of God, a woman of faith, a classy woman, just this dynamic person. Of course, her first and foremost, always, Miss Angela, I can always say you know, I come to you, I talk to you about so much, to you, to all of the ladies on this panel right now. Maite is my friend, of course, my daughter, who has helped me in some situations.
She my friend too.
It's so many women, and I don't really want to, I'm going to call out some names that I don't want anybody to feel left out. To my girlfriends, Miosha and Tracy, I love you ladies. To Miss Lisa Epting, she is just this phenomenal woman as well. She's so graceful. She's taught me so much. She is a prayer warrior. She's a confidant. You know, she calls and checks in, not only being the first lady of our church, but she has the capacity to make you feel like it's just about you. You know, you're the only one. And then to my aunties, and another one to Rosa, La Rosa Mary Anderson.
Yeah.
That woman has the faith of a mustard seed. Do you hear me? If I could just have just a smidgen of the faith that she carries with her. And as far as somebody in history that Angela, you caught me off guard with that question. As far as somebody in history that I think I could
mirror,
stand next to and mirror, I'm not quite sure.
I believe it's between Angela Bassett.
Okay.
And tell me, Maite, you have to help me help her. Angela Bassett, even Viola Davis. I mean, you got such spunk. So
Okay,
my is
I
gonna help
would
you a little
take
bit
that.
too when we
I
finish.
will take that.
It's funny because I would say Tracy Ellis Ross.
Okay.
You know what? Me too. Me too.
The life of the party. Life of the party. I mean,
Don't y'all tell all my business on this good live.
So go ahead, Mike. Go ahead, Trayla, and go ahead and give your shouts out. And then who do you believe that you would probably mirror?
That is a
woman
good
in history.
I have to point my finger up when you said that, because for some reason I was feeling that in my spirit too. Earlier this week when I was creating the post and it being National Women's Month. But before we go into that, someone that I feel like I mirror, I'm going to shout out my mom, my beautiful, beautiful mommy. I love you. She's the strongest woman I know, y'all. And I want to be like her. I really do, because she's not scared, not intimidated, not afraid of nothing. You hear me? Nothing. And you get that from Grandma Tammy.
I do.
Too. You get that from, and y'all, I mean, y'all are the strongest women I know. Y'all walk out the door and it's like,
I'm ready.
I'm ready. And I admire that. I used to be intimidated by that as a kid, but now as a mom, as a woman in the world, you need that. You need that. We need that strength. We need that, that unfolding strength out here, because people look at us like, yeah, you just a woman. You just, and it's like, no, I'm not. I'm a woman. I'm a woman. I'm a creator. You know what I mean? So I really appreciate you guys. And one more lady is my grandma Nick Nick. My grandma Nick Nick was the kindest lady in the world. And I try to mirror that every day, the kindness, the strength, the class. She was a classy lady, always looking nice, always done up. So I really admire those three ladies. I love you guys, to the moon and back. And now a lady that I feel like I try my best to mirror is Maya Angelou. Something that I read a long time ago was she was really in tune with language. And so anybody that would use foul language, any cuss words, any talking down on people, anything like that, she would kick them out of her house. Like if she was having a gathering, if she was having a party or anything like that, and people were, cussing and fooling around and talking bad about people, she's like, out of my house, because words do really mean a lot. We get energy from words. Words are important. And I try my best, with my kids in the classroom, at home with my husband, with my friends. And sometimes, I find myself not fitting in because I don't cuss around people like that, or like say things, that other people say. So I think I mirror her a lot. I try to mirror her a lot.
That's good.
Miss Maite. Mm.
Okay, well, I gave my mom a shout out already. A couple of people, and I made a list, right? Of course, shout out to all of you on the show. I mean, you guys are all amazing.
Thank you, Maite.
Thank you for even allowing me to be a part of this. Trayla, I am so proud. I know I watched Trayla grow up. I'm not old, but I did watch
Oh, girlfriend, you're old.
And I am just so proud of the young woman that you have become.
Thank you.
God, it just makes my heart so glad. And to Tamara, I mean, yeah, you are a classy lady. Carry yourself very, very well. You've set examples for me, and I'm a little older than you, just a little bit, but I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you for being my friend. In 2007, when I walked away from my marriage, I hit a very, very rough patch. And I don't know if I can ever tell this person how much I love and appreciate them for being there for me. She even bought me a book. I mean, and her name is Rochelle Simpson.
Oh, yeah.
She's a member of Greater Rock. So sweet. I love Rochelle so much. And she talked me through it. She prayed with me. She didn't even, nobody knew to this day, probably, the things that Rochelle did for me. She bought me a book. And I mean, I'm so grateful for Rochelle Simpson. I mean, that helped me get through, that pretty rough patch. But then I also have today I have there's a pastor, Dr. Darlene Allen Nichols. I mean,
wow, I know her well.
Amazing. I love Dr. Darlene. She's been very instrumental in the lives of me, my daughter, and my granddaughter, and just being concerned about our family dynamics and everything. So she's really great. But I'm just going to read off the rest of my list. I'm not excluding anybody. So charge it to my head.
None of that. Go ahead.
So Tonette Dugar, I remember we used to pray together every morning at 5. Was it 5 or 5:30? Every morning when this was like around 2012 when I was going through, tried to get on a date and sing, got my heart broken, and it was a mess. So we used to pray together, and so she prayed me through some things. Grateful for her. Miss Angela Martin, wonderful prayer. Tonette introduced me to her prayer ministry, and it got me through. I'm telling you, these are people who have really helped me. So Miss Angela Martin. So I have a cousin, Rose Davis. We talk every morning, every night. She knows things that a lot of people don't know. Shout out to her. Real quick, Brenda James from Greater Rock. She was my Sunday school teacher. I didn't go a lot. But I was Brenda's driver for a long time. I used to drive Brenda around. Brenda don't have a car. Brenda don't drive. But Brenda can get places that people with cars can't get. She can get there faster than you. And so I used to drive Brenda around a lot. And you get a lot of wisdom from just listening to her. Again, La Rosa with her faith song, yes. You can't leave her out. I got Tammy Accarelli on my list. My kids call her grandma.
They do.
My kids call Tamara's mom grandma, Tammy Accarelli. So nice and so sweet. I remember Rochelle telling me a story about Tammy, about how much of a servant that she is, and how I think they went somewhere one time and it was raining, and when Rochelle pulled up, Tammy was at the door with an umbrella waiting on her. I mean, that's just the heart she has, and she thinks about you in ways that you don't even know that you need to be thought about in. So that was wonderful. And last but not least, shout out to my daughter Maya. Yes. She's a young
Hey Maya.
Yeah.
Mother. She is growing, right? She's growing into being a good mother, and I just love and appreciate her for having my granddaughter, and I just can't wait to see, how it's going to shape itself in the future. So yeah, thank you.
You're kind of making segue to Maite about where we want to go. Let me do this real quick because these comments are coming in and I want to make sure. Look, Lady Reborn says, learn to be your best self, always 24/7, 365, first, and then always show your best self to others as a woman. Come on, we giving shout outs to women. Lawrence Turner says, congratulations. My mother was a warrior as well. A lot of black women had to be. She beat breast cancer in the 80s, but died of lung cancer in 2015. Everyone knew who she was in my neighborhood. She didn't play. I think some of us can say amen, praise the Lord to that. Because see, my mama would go to work and double back, baby. Everybody on the block would be in trouble. You would be in trouble. Did I give a shout out to my daughter? She go turbo. I'm going to tell you all something, then I'm going to ask you this question really, really quick. The question is going to be, women, what makes being a woman very, very special? What makes being a woman special? But here's my thing. So She Go Turbo kind of introduced my husband and I to some different living, because at the end of the day, I'm gonna be real honest with y'all, right? She doesn't care. I'm a pastor preacher, and so of course with my ex-husband, homosexuality met us at our door. I'm gonna tell y'all something real sensitive, and that's this. Is that I told our church, I will shut the whole church down to minister to the needs of my one daughter, because that's mine. Did y'all hear what I just said? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And so where we were dealing with Robinique being gay, her coming out right at the age of 17, somebody else is dealing with something else with their daughter. Maybe your daughter is not now dating or married to the man you feel like she should be married to. Or maybe you, woman, aren't married to the man you think you should be married to. I felt like I was married to the right person, but he left. But anyway, we're going to look for the second one to be the one Jesus said. Anyway,
yes,
we're going to look for him.
Come
But I think what it's done, y'all. So I will say what makes me special at being a woman is my resilience, my faith, my ability to cause now we this ain't necessarily the Christian show, but my ability to cause sin, or craziness, foolishness, right? But also my ability to stand in my own truth, because I do not ride horses with everybody else. Ask Tamara. I generally ride by myself, and I really don't care if you ride with me or not. If I say it's blue, the sky could be green. If I say it's blue, by George, it's gonna turn blue. Come on here. So I want to pass this doggone hot mic to none other than my Miss Tamara. How special is it? Of course, what makes being a woman so special? This show is the bomb.com right now. Okay.
I mean, just being a woman, we give birth, we carry babies for 9 months. We turn around, we work, we are wives, we are mothers, we're sisters, we do it all. Being a woman is just dynamic. From you have girlfriends that you talk to and you have conversation with. It's just being a woman it just is what it is. It's special. There is no other way to put it. We're just special. We think different. While people are thinking about today, we are all in the way in next month. My daughter's coming here in 2 weeks. I'm already done for her to get here. So we have the capacity to deal in the now, but prepare for the future. And not saying that men can't, but we do it in a different way. We think out every detail. We worry about every little thing, where I think some men, not all, they don't think about, about the whole household as a whole. We take it all in. We worry about the groceries, the bills, the finances, we worry about it all. I'm grateful for a husband who is dynamic in that role where there is not a burden on me in that aspect. But for some women like my mom, she did it all. And I think that it takes women are special because we can do it all.
Yeah.
We don't want to, we shouldn't have to, but we do. And we're very
but Tamara, don't none piss me off more though. When I see that man in the store, y'all know who I'm talking about, the culture I'm talking about, where he got his wife pushing the buggy, might take, and then he got his hands folded and she carrying the baby, pushing the buggy and all that. Don't none piss me off worse than that. Anyway, okay, I'm gonna give my mic again.
You want to tap him on his shoulder like, excuse me.
Right.
But
ladies, hear me roar.
I was gonna put that song up on National Women's Day just because that should be our motto. But again, I mean, there are some men who are dynamic in their role as husband and father, and then you do have the men that, for instance, my mom, she was just by herself, but she did it all. We didn't miss a beat. And I say to that, women are capable, men are capable as well. But because it's Women's Month, I'm gonna keep it on women. Men, this is not to take anything away from you by any means. I love you guys with all my heart, but it's about the woman today. And I think we can do it all if we choose to. Right. I don't want to, please don't get me wrong. My friend Nativa, she'll tell you in a heartbeat, I don't need a man, but I want one.
Exactly.
Oh, now you know what? Now I say, hey, and I want to choose.
Right.
Yeah.
So yes, we are very special and very dynamic in so many ways.
Yeah,
definitely.
Maite, go ahead, Maite, and then we're gonna come back around the trailer.
Okay. Oh, one person I missed. Jonna. Hey.
Hey, Jonna.
Hey, Jonna.
Cancer survivor.
Yes.
And so Jonna's my friend. Very strong individual. I mean, Jonna have, battled some things and come through on the other side. And I was like, Lord.
I love that you all are sharing these women. And y'all know what? We may not think it mean a lot, or maybe even the people that are watching may not think it's a lot. But I'm gonna tell you something. Sometime hearing, let's be human. Sometime hearing your name called in a good way and not a bad way,
Right.
Sometimes that means that Maite, you thought about them. Trailer, you thought about them. Tamari, you thought about them. So I just wanted to throw that in there as well. Tell us what makes being a woman so special, though, Maite. I think you have a great spin on this.
Oh, well, to me, what makes a woman makes being a woman so special. Tamara took a lot of my answers. I was gonna say, that we're able to bring forth life, right?
Yeah.
I mean, we're nurturers by nature. We have a softness to us, although life have hardened some of us, because of the many hats that we have had to wear.
Absolutely.
In the absence of men, fathers and everything, but it's a blessing to just be able to do it, right? We're the helpmeets.
Yes.
And I am one that I don't say I don't need a man. I do. I want one. I need one. I do. But I'm holding it down until he comes. Right? I still got
I don't know what I'm gonna
that part.
pay the bills. I gotta do everything. I mean, listen.
Totally.
But until he comes, and so
wait on your Boaz.
Definitely.
And not broke.
You're right. Not a broker. Not a you are right now.
The show ain't that sanctified.
Now, say that. Yeah, definitely so. Please, you cannot come and make me drop. I mean, where I'm at, I need to elevate with you. I need to do better with you.
Right.
But yeah, so yeah, being a woman, I mean, men need us more than some of them think they do. Mm-hmm. I mean, we are definitely important to them, and just like we need them, they definitely need us. Yeah. What's the song? It's a man's world, but it wouldn't be nothing without a woman or a girl.
Come on, Trailer. Trailer, talk about it. What makes you so special? What makes being a woman so special?
I'm going to piggyback off of both of you guys. You kind of pointed it out, Maite. But I think in this, like in the world we are now, women are so focused on being strong. Like we are not focused, we're forced. We're kind of forced in certain situations to be strong. But what also makes us special, like Maite said, is our softness. And I've been able to experience that being married and having kids and having a family. I've been able to be soft and be gentle and be, the nurturer fully, that like my great grandma was, I've been able to experience that. And I think that's what makes us special, because no one can really do it like us. No one can do it like that.
No one.
It's a beautiful thing to be calm and kind, but turn around and be like, you know what, this need to get done. Like I'm gonna need this to happen. So it's the balance between the strength and the softness and the kindness and the, it's the balance between the two of those.
You know what? And during this show, here's what I think is so important. I think it's important that during this show, we just keep shouting out. Look, so I just saw a comment up here. I want to make sure I read it. And Angel Barney is our girl aviation. Okay, so Angel is our girl in aviation, and I met Angel during we're BPN now, Black People Network, of course, at American Airlines, and I met her in Miami, and I just adopted her immediately. She says, I can't find her comment. Okay, I just want to say I love all four of you. Each of you hold a place in my heart. God knows, Tamara, dear, the journey has been amazing, even not being in the presence. So sometimes, even though we're not in each other's presence, we still give each other, tall accolades. I think all of us in this room, we will echo what Angel is saying. But I want y'all to tell me a little bit. There was a question in here I definitely wanted to ask us. One of them is, where do you fall short or where do you thrive? Now, for me, I fall short in the area of, I believe in my own wise that I have dimmed my own light. I have been afraid on so many different levels. I know a lot of people will look at me and say, oh, she's so confident, But I'm gonna tell y'all something. and this makes me so emotional. It does.
Come on.
Coming through, and Monte, you probably, and you too as well tomorrow, but coming through, being so strong for other people, and then coming through your own devastation and feeling like you only have 3-4 people, and not even knowing how much you can put on them, because I did not want the Tamaras of the world to be burdened with what I was traveling through my devastation of going through divorce. I didn't, but I remember someone telling me it's like a death. It's like a death. And I was so busy fighting that until I didn't even see the dark moments, y'all. Let me tell y'all something, okay? I've traveled through some dark days, but God, this ain't no spiritual show, but it's a Jesus show. I'm gonna say Jesus as many times as I want to. I've traveled through some dark days. I've learned about Angela that I have dimmed my light in so many different moments, that I have dummied down who I really am to accommodate others. I feel like, remember the question is, of course, where is it at now? Our question is what do you believe your strengths are, and what do you think that some of your weaknesses are as well? But I also believe that I thrive in encouraging others and making sure, even on this platform, that they have a place. If you're a ministry, if you're a business, if you're a up and coming educator, it don't matter, creative, you're gonna always have a spot right here, One Sister to Another, because our premise is to push those who believe they should be out here, or even those who don't want to be out here. Tamara, don't say no names. To push those as well. So y'all tell me, I want to start with you, Tamara. What do you believe your own weaknesses are, so we can bless other women? And then talk about that. Talk about your thrive as well. What do you also believe you thrive in?
So for me, I doubt myself a lot. Like you say, people think that you're confident, or think that I'm so confident and I have it all together. I don't. I doubt myself more than most people would probably ever think. My daughter sees me as strong and confident and those things. I'm gonna get emotional now, but I doubt myself a lot. I doubt my capabilities. And I'm like you, I dummy myself down sometimes. And I do it because, and I need to stop. I do it because I don't want to be arrogant, labeled as cocky, or what's the other word? And it's not about that. So a lot of times you dummy yourself down because I just don't want to be labeled with anything else.
Yeah.
I always tell people at the end of the day, I always want to be humble, and I tell my husband all the time, if I ever become anything of any at any capacity, financially and in that area, I always want to remain humble. And so that, I think sometimes I doubt myself in areas that I know I shouldn't. I know that I'm very capable of, but I don't just always step out there and go for it. And then another thing, I'm very shy. Most people don't believe that about me. I'm very shy. I like to be in the background. That's why, Angela, I keep telling you, this is not for me. I love you, but this really is not my thing. Where most people will probably say, oh, she likes the law. I'm like, no, I really don't. I'm really a behind the scenes kind of girl, and I don't mind being that person. I will push you. And the way I say I thrive, I will back you. Maite, I will back you. Angela, I will back you. I will push you. My girlfriends, my friends, my family, whatever you would have me to do, I will do. I will push you to the utmost. I just wish that I could do the same for myself at times. So that's where I fall short. And that's why I thrive, because I can push you. I can have a conversation with you that'll motivate you from here to reach heaven. And I mean every word that I say, but I don't always give that to myself.
Rhonda Johnson said confidence is often misinterpreted as arrogance. Maite, talk about it. Give us your strengths, and then talk about where you believe you thrive as well. And then we're going to ask.
I would say the same thing that Tamara said, and it's so amazing that Rhonda would say that confidence is often misinterpreted as arrogance, because that's been that has happened to me a lot in my life. That my I'll take it. And the flip side, let me tell you this: my insecurities, I promise you, have been mistaken for arrogance. I can walk in a room, and when I walk in a room, if I'm late and I walk in a room, I'm looking to see who I know, and I take the first chair I see and I sit down. And you will be amazed at how many people are, sizing me up to think that maybe, oh, she's arrogant. No, it's just that I don't want to be the center of attention. I found the first seat and I sat down. And so my thing is, I fall short because, like Tamara said, like you said, I push people. I have dimmed my light a lot to let other people shine for various reasons. One, I know that seasons happen. It may not be my season, it may be their season, and if I can get behind them to push them. But then two, it has over time just been the thing that I do. And it's like now where I should be pushing myself, or I push others, and then when it's my turn, it's like, wow. And I used to say, who do I have? But when you guys were talking, I'm looking at a whole list right here that I made of people that I shouted out. I can still call these people, but it's like, I guess the enemy wants you to feel that you are alone sometimes. So that's where I fall short in remembering who's in my corner, and also not pushing myself as much as I push others. And I also thrive, though. I get great joy out of helping people, out of being a resource for people. I mean, out of networking, connecting people. If you say that you want to do something, if I find someone or meet someone and they're looking for someone who can do what you do, I'll make the connection. And I have no issue, with doing so. If you're looking for a job, if a job is hiring, hey, I know someone, that's just me. I get great joy out of doing that. So where I fall short is where I thrive. so yeah.
Not a problem at all. Come on, Trey. Come on.
Yeah, I want to piggyback off of you guys again. The most important thing that I've heard today was confidence can get, mistaken for arrogance and cockiness. And it's like, I've experienced a lot of things being young and then being married and having a family and really trying hard to do the right thing. That can make me cry too. It's hard because people look at me as if, well, you have it all, you don't have no issues, you got it easy. And it's that makes me want to kind of step back and dim myself down a little bit too, because I don't want to offend anybody, especially some moms, especially, women out there who are really going through hard situations. I don't want to step on their toes or anything. So I make sure that I, kind of take a step back. I don't really talk too much in those kinds of situations because people look at me as if I have everything, and it's still hard. It's still hard, not compared to, single moms, not to compare anything like that, because of course they go through really, really hard times. But, I do too. And I just try to, just kind of take a step back and dim myself and kind of not put myself out there too much, just so, because I don't want to make people uncomfortable. And things like that. Where I thrive, I don't know. That's a good question. I would just say I keep it going. It's hard taking care of a whole family at 25 years old, 3 kids, a dog, husband, school, work. I mean, it's a lot of hard work. But I keep going. I keep praying, keep talking to God, and yeah, that's where I thrive. I keep it going.
Now, go ahead, Tamara. Why can't I hear Tamara?
I can't hear you.
Unmute Tamara.
Can you hear me?
Yeah,
we can now.
Sorry. Okay, so I have to interject. When my baby just said she doesn't know where she thrives, this is my daughter. Facebook, YouTube, Instagram, this is mine. I birthed her. She thrives at everything. Everything.
Yes, she does.
young lady puts her mind to, she thrives at. I asked her to do the flyer. She took that on. I asked her to help me with this podcast. She did that, along with,
And I have to fight her to take my
mother
money.
of 3, a wife, a teacher. She
Absolutely.
finds the time, the capacity to do it all. So to me, you thrive in that area because you take every challenge and you handle it so well. Where you got that from, I have no clue, but you do it well.
I
You
think
do
it's
it very
all of
well.
y'all. I think it's our
All of you
grandmama.
guys,
Yeah,
really.
me too.
You
Me
do
too.
it very
It's the
well.
women
So
who
shout out
I
to
do.
you, because I know that's where you thrive. You thrive in everything you put your mind to, everything that you set your heart to, you thrive at.
So y'all know what? So I'm telling y'all right now, like, we gonna have. I hope y'all, we're doing this again next week or something. 'Cause there's no way we ain't even got through.
Part
But let me
two.
tell y'all what somebody just asked. So my girl, my friend from childhood, we call each other sisters. She's in Charlotte. Loretta Taylor is out here. Wait. Oh God. I done got really excited. So my girl, Loretta Taylor, I got this wrong, right? Okay. So my girl, Loretta Taylor says, do we believe that women kind of, okay, let me make sure. Okay, I don't need none of that. She says, Loretta Taylor says, do you think we have been raised to fall back so that the men can shine? Do you believe, ladies, do you all believe that we've been raised to fall back so the men can shine? I'm telling y'all, I know for a fact, I can remember getting married over now. I was married for 27 years when it all was done, 26 when he stepped. But I can remember stepping back. Now check this out. Working in a living word, working in the prison ministry. I had never been to prison. Working in prison ministry, but my husband had, and it's not a secret, it was part of our testimony. I remember taking these 10 steps back because I was already a preacher. I was already ordained to be a pastor. Ordained to be an evangelist at that time, minister. But I already knew how to pick things up and move them forward, right? But my ex-husband was very quiet, very laid back, and I felt like, nah, not in this world. We're gonna have to push some stuff. But that was the call of God that was on my life because I'm a mover and a shaker. But did I most of the time, Maite, feel like I've got to dummy down who I am and not really shine so much so that maybe folks who were necessarily in his family and that was standing off, especially, and I'm just saying this, y'all, no point intended, some of my Baptist church brothers, right, would that I would just shut it on down and let him lead. Who said he wasn't leading? It's just a different kind of lead, right? I'm still a woman. Hear me roar. I'm still a woman full of fire. What do you do with all that fire? So let me say this. Let me give a sidebar. It's gonna take a special kind of dude to handle all this. Go ahead, y'all. I'm passing the mic. So the question is, do you all believe, right? What? Do y'all believe that we have been raised to fall back so that the man can have his shine?
I don't. I have to disagree with that
come
statement, and I'm gonna tell you why. I was raised in Tammy Accarelli's household, and there was no such thing.
So would you say it's according to what household
I
or
would say
how
that.
you were raised? Okay,
I
that's
would
good.
say that. And maybe because
Yeah,
my mom, and maybe because my mother was a single woman. So she taught me independence. She taught me how to stand out and how to handle my own. So with that being said, I was never taught to fall back. I was never taught to, she taught, even though my mother has never been married, she's always taught me how to be a wife, the way that she thought it should be. So I have that foundation, but, I also have more of the aspect of be independent, do your own thing, because that's all that she had and knew. I won't say that's all that she knew, but that's what her life was. It was independence. Everything was done by my mom. So in my household, I would say absolutely not.
But do you think do you think independence, and of course you're gonna pick it up, Maite, I'm sure. Mm-hmm. Do you think independence, Tamara, hurt or did it hinder me? Does it hurt me in some instances? Does it hinder me or does it strengthen me on all aspects?
I think it does a little of both if you really want to know the truth.
That's
I think
good.
Independence can help you because it'll if you have to be a single mom or woman and live on your own and handle you know how to do that. But then it could also
Somebody say not in my mama's household. Okay. I don't know.
It could also hinder you, because if you get married, and I'm guilty of this, you know, I have to be mindful that I have a husband. You know, I have to be mindful that, you know, these things need to be done in two. You know, it's not just me. You know, so again, it could help you and it could hinder you. And then when you get
That's
married,
good.
if you weren't raised in a house where there was marriage, you have to find a balance. You have to find
You
where
preaching now.
you have to find how it balances out. You know, it's not just about you, it's not just about him, it's about you together. But if I was raised in a household where it's been taught to be independent, it's how I want it to go. And you can't live like that or be like that in a marriage. And it's not a bad thing by no means. You just have to adjust. You know, you
Awesome.
have to adjust. So if you ask me, independence is a good thing. It could help, and it could be a bad thing in a different instance.
Absolute. Go ahead, my take.
Well, I was raised by my mom, my mom's brother, my grandma, and my great aunt, all in the same household. And my mom, I watched my mom work 14, 16 hours
Wow.
sometimes, you know, per day. You know, it all depends. I mean, with no warning, it all depends. When she got to work, you know, if things weren't, you know, progressing, oh, well, we need you these X amount of hours. And I remember her calling home to my great aunt saying, hey, I'm working 14 hours, you know, leave the light on. So that's what I grew, the porch light on. So that's what I grew up seeing, you know. And so and I mean, when my dad came over daily, he always made sure he gave me enough money. He used to say, here, I'm giving you this, go buy what you want. I don't want you to ask a man for anything. And I remember in 2000 and what was it, like in the early 2000s, when I had met this one coworker, and after I left my marriage and I was trying to date, and I didn't know how to ask a man for nothing. I didn't feel like you should have to ask a man for anything. I was like, my daddy always gave me enough so that, you know, I can have what I need without asking a man for something. He said, your daddy messed you up. And that's a nice way to put it. He said, your daddy effed you up. I was like, are you serious? But, and so, I mean, I've just always been raised to be strong and independent, which it helps and it hurts sometimes, you know, because I've had friends to tell me, might tell you're too strong. I've had friends to tell me when I would go back to school, might tell the more educated you become, the less likely it is that you're going to get a man. But you know what? I couldn't put my personal goals on hold to in an effort to be found by a man. I mean, I just feel like I'm just going to keep going, and the man that God has for me will meet somewhere, right, you know, in the middle. I mean, that's just.
Now that's amazing. Y'all ain't gonna believe this, but Trayla, I gotta hear what you gotta say about this. But can y'all believe we literally have 5 minutes left? I'm about to start crying. Literally 5 minutes. Go ahead, Trayla. You got two and a half. You got 2.5.
Well, I'm gonna keep it short. I'm gonna say that no, you do not have to dim yourself. When you find the right one, they'll be comfortable. They'll be comfortable.
That is so good.
And that's what I've experienced. At first, I was a little demanding and a little, you know, headstrong.
You're your mama's child.
I got it, honest. But I learned that, you know, with communication, clear communication, you know, you learn to balance, and you learn how to be comfortable in your own skin, and he learns too. So it depends on who you're with. It really does.
Y'all know what? This show today has been the best on the planet. And y'all know what? I think the reason why the team agrees, let's talk womanhood, real talk motherhood. Can we talk, of course, balance? I think the team wants to draw us all in and say, hey, when we supposed to be out of here, we got to be out of here, because we don't want you all to be happy with us twice. Huh? Happy we came and happy we made our exit. Listen to this. Go listen, of course, don't y'all forget to hang out with me on March the 15th, this coming Wednesday at 7:30, 674-808-1088. 674-808-1088 for the Gone Girl book read. And if you don't have your books, please inbox me, Angela L. Johnson, or you can text me 630-935-9093. 630-935-9093. Listen to this. I got to give my folks 30 seconds around the room and then we're going. Tamara, I'm going to let you be first.
Okay, ladies, thank you so much. It's been a pleasure. This was an awesome show. I'm going to end with this, Angela. You know how I end when you have me on. So I'm going to end with this. I'm just going to read this for you, ladies.
Yes, please.
Can I get that up, babe?
Please. Yes.
Okay, well, hold on one second, you guys. I got it right here.
Yeah.
It's something that I found, and I'm just going to read it. It says, here's to women, to the women breaking down barriers, to the women lifting each other up, to the women paving the way for our future, to the women who never give up, to the women who are our biggest supporters, to the women making a change. You are smart, strong, resilient, beautiful, and powerful. You matter. You are loved. Here's to you. That's how
I love it. I love it. Go ahead, Trailer. In this trailer, go ahead and give us your words of encouragement.
My words are peace and love to everyone watching this. Thank you guys for your support. Remember to stay strong. Just like the post said, stay strong. Keep your head up. Pray. Always pray. God is going to lead you in the right way. Always.
Thank you so much, Maite.
Thank you guys for your support. Thank you, Angela. Women do get along. Hey, we are an example.
That's for my generation. Say it again.
Yes, women get along. We can push each other. We love each other. We don't have to be catty. Women get along. Let this podcast be proof.
Yes.
We love each other and we get along.
Yes. No. Where's she at, Jeff? Angela. Can they hear me? Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay. Well, somehow we lost Miss Angela. I'm going to close us out. We love you. We thank you. And then I'm going to close out with what she is asking for me since we've lost her. It just says the success of every woman should be an inspiration to another. We're strongest when we cheer each other on. On that note, you guys, one sister to another, we love you. On behalf of Pastor Angela Johnson, thank you so much for joining us. Good night.
Bye.